I'm now live and it's simultaneously live. Oh man, matching it up nicely. What's up, everybody? How's it going? So, Coach Ryan here with Project Fresh for our nightly live stream. And today is the 17th. Cool. Oh, okay. Yeah, check that out. So, I actually hadn't even gotten to it yet today. How's everybody doing? What's up? How we doing? Wave, hey. Of course, my wife is here checking it out. Also, Aaron, what's up? How you doing, man? Hope you're well. Hope you and the family are doing well. We've got our live stream going here on YouTube and also on our Instagram, and keeping them both going for the rest of the year. That's the new goal. We had a challenge last week with getting that habit together, and now we finally have it. So we're good to go there. We're going to be covering tonight hitting the reset button. Sometimes we just push and pull and tug and try our best to get after something that just may not be worth the time to, or may not be, it's definitely worth the time, but it may be working against you. And that's sausage is so spicy, it's heating my wife up. She just made some sausage for dinner tonight. I'm cutting dinner in half. I feel bad. Timing sometimes is tough with getting a night light stream or night light stream, a night live stream going. That sometimes it just doesn't work out. So after I'm done, I'm going to rejoin the wife for the rest of dinner. Hopefully, there's some left. She's been lifting so hard and doing so well. She's really hungry, which is cool. That's where you want to be when you're lifting hard and heavy, revving up that metabolism, and that's the way it works. So if you've got metabolism challenges, pushing hard on the exercise, on the weight, on the resistance, will definitely get that metabolism up and running. So anyway, what's up, Aveen? How we doing, man? So we are talking about hitting the reset button tonight, and we are in a season where there's a lot of challenges and it might be difficult to get something off the ground, like a fitness or nutrition or some other kind of accountability related goal. And with that being the case, if it's really difficult for you to get things going, it may be better to just hit the reset button and dial down to what's manageable, kind of going off of what we were talking about last night. Just a quick recap on what we covered last night. In a season where you're kickstarting back into gratitude, our focus for the month of November is to cover gratitude every single day leading up to Thanksgiving. We don't have to be just thankful on Thanksgiving or keep that as our only day of the year to think about what we're thankful for. Although it is the national holiday, we're leading up to that day, 25 full days. We start at the beginning of the month with thankfulness, with Thanksgiving rather, or being thankful for and grateful for what is around us, what's going on. Because we have a lot of things that could keep us from being grateful and thankful. COVID cases are on the rise. We're locking the country back down. It looks like all across, even here in California, we just got locked. We're back on the lockdown. Our governor is saying, "Hey, time to lock it back down. No more eating in restaurants," which is going to be tough because it's now raining outside. So there's not going to be outdoor seating unless you got a canopy. I saw one restaurant that's down the street in a shopping hub that we usually go to. They had literally a built-up tent with plastic walls around it to try to block out some of the wind. And so people are hanging in there right now trying to keep the outdoor seating alive for eating at restaurants. But life as we know it has maintained or continued to stay turned upside down. And nowhere in sight, nowhere in sight are we seeing a opportunity where things are going to get back to the normal. And that in and of itself is a challenge. Personal lives, our work lives, if you're a business owner like me, business getting together with friends, family members, people at church or other social areas. I'm not saying church is social, but just other gatherings where it used to be a regular thing in life at the beginning of this year now remains out of the question we covered kickstart into gratitude. One of those areas was go for the small things. And so I wanted to highlight that a little bit more today. Go for those small things. If it is the case that even small things are tough for you, maybe it's just time to push that reset button, dial things down completely, get into a season of just relaxing and doing the most you can for your day. Obviously, we all have to work if the job is available. If not, do the best you can to take care of yourself. Do the simple things like rest well, drink water, get a little time to yourself if it's a very, very stressful situation or environment, maybe a relationship, maybe a situation has taken place and now things are happening. My um, poor mom, for example, had a dishwasher blow up in her house, and it just totally took out a good section of the cabinets, and water ran down to the basement. And so that's been an ongoing long situation. And so, whatever challenging situations you may have, things are looking better for my mom, by the way, but didn't want to leave a cliffhanger there. Things are getting repaired and taken care of. But whatever the challenge may be, maybe it's just so much you need to hit the reset button, dial everything back, and go into to maintenance mode or even potentially survival mode, where you're just doing the bare minimum and allowing yourself to do that and rest in that, so that you can slowly start to build yourself back. Um, like I said, so much is going on. It's hard to get things up. I was out and about doing something for work yesterday, and I was riding my bike to do so. And I was crossing the street, and this lady dang near ran me over. I mean, she was literally like this close to hitting my back tire. I'm in the crosswalk. I'm crossing when it's my right of way to go, and she's just zooming that corner. Didn't see me at all. Dang near hit me on my bike. It's like, what is this woman doing? Is she not paying attention? Well, if she would have saw me, I was definitely out in front of her before, when she started to make the turn. And thankfully, I had enough on her that I was also beyond her before she completed the turn. Because otherwise, it would have hit me pretty hard. She was going at least 15, 20 coming around that corner. People are really tightly bound right now, super stressed out, super anxious, super tired of being stuck in their homes. And now we're all seeing the possibility of being stuck even more, even considerations of not being able to see family and friends like we do through the holidays. It's getting colder, it's getting rainier, going into the winter. It's hard after holidays, especially in the wintertime, because it's cold, long nights, excuse me, all these different things. So sometimes to try to set up a goal, especially in the context of fitness or nutrition or something along those lines, going for a weight loss or building muscle, maybe it's not a good season to do it. Maybe it's better to just dial it down and let yourself relax and get to a point in space and place where, you just need to relax. By the way, if anyone has any questions related to health, fitness, or lifestyle in general, we cover lifestyle. That's our profession. We coach in lifestyle. Some of the highlights that we focus on specifically are fitness and finances for Project Fresh. So that's our FR is relationship and recreation. Getting really excited for the wintertime. Don't know if they'll open up any of the ski resorts. I heard back when it was the end of ski season last year, there were some COVID outbreaks in Colorado. We were literally at Park City in Utah and on our way back when everything shut down. We were at one of those Utah Jazz games where Rudy, what's his name? Tall guy for the Jazz. I'm totally spacing on his name right now. One of the centers or tall forwards for the Jazz was touching all the mics and then later tested positive for COVID the next day. We were at one of those games, one of their last home games before they shut the NBA down. And winter season is here. Waiting to see how basketball goes. Football is hit or miss. Some of the typical things that we experience this time of year are all out of whack. And so we're definitely in a season right now where things are completely different. The landscape is completely different. And so there's a lot to consider. Gyms are starting to close down again. So if your only space and place to get a workout in is at a gym, that's going to be a challenging season. Here in California is absolutely insane trying to find workout equipment, barbells, dumbbells, kettlebells, plates. Anything you can to lift heavier, to keep progressing in that realm. If you're trying to build more strength, if you're trying to really lift heavy so you can build some mass, that's a challenging space and place too. But ultimately, if you're finding life just coming at you left and right, left and right, left and right, and you feel like it's knocking you down, I'm not saying necessarily stay down, but what I'm saying is there are seasons in life where we do need to try to clear off as much of the plate as we can, hit that reset button, allow ourselves to build up in strength, get some good rest, get some good food in, be around some people that you just absolutely enjoy being around. You're a joy to them, they're a joy to you. Spend the time you need, a week or two, whatever you need. Obviously, if you've got goals, try not to spend too much time away, especially in the context of fitness and health, because body can atrophy pretty quickly. Getting out of that rhythm can turn the opposite direction and start to work against you. But ultimately, if it's a season where it's just super heavy, super challenging, it's always good to hit that reset button and allow yourself some time to recover. Because when you try to push through on those hard seasons, it can only make it worse. It can make it worse, I should say. And if you make it worse, you can lead yourself up to injury. You lead yourself up into doing things that won't be intuitive, or it'll be counterintuitive to what you're trying to achieve, whether it be finances, whether it be relationships, whether it be work life, or whatever you're trying to accomplish in those goals really work against you. So, yeah, still got about 4 or 5 minutes. Our Instagram page, we've got a few watchers right now. How's everybody doing? Jesse, good to see you on joining us tonight. We're covering hitting the reset button and when times get challenging. And we've got our YouTube. We do this every night on YouTube. Our content tonight, we probably won't share to our Instagram page, but we will be moving we will be having content move onto our Instagram page as far as posts. We posted last night, and last night's topic was, excuse me, very simply, kickstarting into gratitude. Our month, we're focusing on gratitude. And what I'll do too is encourage you to think about what it is that you're grateful for today as we lead up into next week and to Thanksgiving. For myself, I'm grateful for the day, just allowing myself to get back into the mindset and understanding that it is a process. I have a tendency to push myself really hard. In fact, I was talking to my wife earlier today, and I was just telling her how I hate how sometimes I just cannot get myself into a swing of performance. I'll find myself in an ebb and flow a lot of times where I'm really on a season, and when I hit that valley, I really try my best to keep that peak season going, even though I'm in a valley season. We all go peak season, valley season is just kind of the ebbs and flows of life. And it really frustrates me in those seasons because uh, it's one of the areas I'm working on right now is performance. I grew up in a performance-based relationship with a parent. If I didn't perform, I would get it essentially. Anywhere from spankings to just anger and all kinds of different stuff in that relationship. So it's been for the last couple of years really working on allowing myself to understand that I don't always have to perform. And it's such a tough habit to just get into, let alone work on creating new lifestyle habits to move it to the side and replace. And so anytime I don't stick to my schedule, I get really down on myself really fast. And so what I'm working on is changing that focus, as I talked about last week, shifting that negativity into that positivity in the focus, because what you focus on is what grows. Where you focus, your energy flows, and that's what grows. And I've always loved that analogy from Eric Thomas, is that what you focus on is you continue to give it to that whatever it is that you're focusing on, it's going to blow up. If you have split focus, you're going to be going back and forth. I have a tendency to do that a lot too. Positive one day, hot one day, cold one day. And so getting a consistency, getting a rhythm, getting a lifestyle rhythm going with your habits is very, very important. And even again, let's say we're in the sky is falling, everything is really challenging, hit that reset button, focus on one, maybe two things that you can give good effort in and she can get some good momentum in. I always like to talk to my clients about this one last thing, and I'll keep it here, is that we want to build a foundation. We want to create a foundation that's going to be sturdy for us to start building the tower. My background civil engineering, so I love this analogy. Build out your foundation, depending on how tall you want your tower to go, is going to also determine how deep you need to build that foundation, right? Those tall towers that you see in big cities, they have several floors down of infrastructure. A lot of concrete, a lot of steel, a lot of infrastructure going into the ground. Also set on bedrock too to build a tower. We need to, build in a strong. What was I going to say? Build in a strong foundation. And once we've got that locked in, it could be those one or two things that we feel are our foundation. Maybe it is exercise. Maybe for me, for example, it's like getting into my word and praying, spending that alone time, that quiet time with myself or with God. And maybe that's my two things to help me have a successful day. That's the foundation. And then you can start to build on nutrition or schedule or work or whatever else and just slowly build up over time. We got a comment on our Instagram page. What's up, Jesse? I'll just read it real quick. I noticed that you've been doing these more often. Can relate to the feeling coming from a performance-based relationship. Some things from thought. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for this comment. Yes, we're doing these on a regular basis. That performance, I was trying to beat myself up live last week. I had forgot maybe 3 out of 5 days last week to get my YouTube going. And I was like, oh, I forgot again on my YouTube channel. I was forgetting my Instagram, rather, excuse me. And so I was beating myself up for it, kind of laughing at myself too. Oh, you guys get to witness me create a new habit. Well, I'm creating a new habit by not only doing my YouTube live stream, but also utilizing Instagram because I know I've got a number of followers on there. And it's been better this week, 2 for 2. It's great. But ultimately, it's just about being, what did I say? Being gracious to self. It's so easy to be gracious to people who are further away from you. Think of it as a circle where we're in the middle. And it's really interesting. The further you get away from that circle, the easier it is to be gracious to those individuals. The closer you get to that center, friends, uh, family members, spouse, yourself, it seems the harder it is to be gracious to self. I don't know about you, but that's what I've noticed. And so, Jesse, thank you so much for that comment that you can relate with that performance-based relationship. It is tough. So if there's anything that we can speak to, anything that we can give as far as like a story or what we've learned as far as relationships, that is one area we cover at Project Fresh. So please let us know again. I really love and appreciate your comment today. And we'll be on here every night, 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We've been playing or moving our time around, keeping it flexible. We're posting every day. Timing is getting earlier because I want to give back, excuse me, some time to my evenings to my wife. So we've been going a little bit longer than 15 minutes, but also starting earlier. So we'll be here every night. Depending on our content, we'll post it to our Facebook page so you can see these posts on, or not Facebook, YouTube page. We've got it on our Facebook page every night. And of course, if you're not following us on YouTube, you can check us out there. Subscribe to our channel. We're so close. We had one more subscriber in the last few days. So thank you to that one subscriber. Once we get to 100 subscribers on our YouTube page, it's youtube.com/BIGRES20. We're going to change our handle or our name so that it is our company name. That was an old handle I used for business, more personal, but now building out the business model altogether. And so we're looking to get our branding nice and streamlined across. So anyway, it's the end of tonight's show. Again, if you guys have any questions, you can message us in our YouTube, our Instagram, our Facebook page. Let us know what you're thinking. If there's a specific area and lifestyle you want us to cover, it can be in the fresh model: fitness, finances, recreation, relationships, education, sanctity and health. Great. If it's just in lifestyle in general, there's something that you've been working on, you've been trying to figure out, drop us a message, drop us a comment. We'll see it and we'll definitely gladly speak to it. Excuse me. I've got so many different things. I've actually got a list here of a lot of different ideas that I want to get into. Financial hardship is a series I'd like to get to. Creating a side hustle series, something to supplement your income. I'll get into that. Repeating the poor health uh, cycle, or the poor health, what would I say? Yeah, the poor health cycle, repeating our parents' health habits, and seeing that be very common, in ways in which we can address that, become aware, become knowledgeable, and do more for ourselves as we start to get into getting older, not necessarily later or mid age years, but mid age for people our age is coming up in the next decade. So, something they talk about there. We'll talk about the poverty mindset. That's the one that I want to get to. Um, Product of your dreams, or product of your environment, kind of similar to what I did before. Designed for a relationship. So those are some different ideas we're playing with right now. So, and if excuse me, if any of those sound good to you, please drop us a comment or a note saying, "Hey, you mentioned this. I really like that. Could you make that the next one?" For the rest of November, we'll be talking about gratitude and Thanksgiving, or the art of being thankful. I might actually write that down. That sounds like a good headliner. So I'll write that down real quick. Always good to write things down when you remember them. Art of being thankful. That is an art in of itself. We might cover that tomorrow night. So anyway, this is Ryan with Project Fresh. It's a pleasure as always to connect with you guys, and we will see you again tomorrow night, 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Be well, be safe, and yeah, just stay well. It's that kind of season, that kind of year where we have to be diligent about our health. So I encourage you guys to hang in there, and we're here for you. All right, we'll see you later. Take care.